We did
There
it!
we go.
Oh my gosh, your background's amazing!
Yours too. Very
We,
fun.
we complement each other nicely.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, it's so nice to see your face.
Yeah, you too.
How are you?
I'm fine. You
Yeah.
know.
I do know.
Yeah, had a little break from the pandemic crisis and do a bit more stuff, which is nice.
That's good. Taking a break, I think, is also nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're so happy to have you on here and to chat with you today. So thank you for agreeing to join us and
Thanks.
have a hangout. I'll give a little introduction of what Flat Files is, and then we'll pass it over to you to introduce yourself, if that sounds good.
Amazing.
Okay. So for anyone that doesn't know, Kyle and I ran a residency, and when we shut down last March, very quickly we started missing everything about having a residency and having people in the house and just like chatting about art all the time, and not just like what we were making, but also like art that we love and art that we cherish and people that inspire us. And in a lot of cases for artists, especially the artists that we like shared our space with, it was like their friends and family and people that were like, they admired their work, but they were also like very closely connected to those people. And so we thought it would be fun to kind of like bring that energy and that kind of experience into the virtual space. And that's like sort of where Flat Files began. And we've now continued doing it. You're episode 65. Can you believe that? We've done that many. So yeah, it's been really fun. And we're gonna pass it over to you, and you can introduce yourself and chat a little bit about what you do.
All right. I'm Genèvieve Darling. I do illustration, and I have business called Love Struck Prints, and I started doing screen printing, and which is still part of what I do, mostly on t-shirts, but now I have lots of other printed stuff with my illustration on it. And yeah.
Love that. Do you screen print like in a shop, or do you screen print, like, do you have your own setup?
I used to screen print in a shop, like either where I was, like where my studio was, there was like other artists and a screen printing studio, but now someone else does it for me, so I have more time to draw. And yes, I love it. I love to screen print, but at some point I just had to make choices.
Yeah, I think that's very smart. And we were talking about this a little bit last week with Amanda McCaver, who was with us on last week, about when like making those decisions and like what part of the process is very valuable to you, and like when you sort of get to a scale or a place where you have to say, okay, is it valuable for me to be the one that's actually doing this motion? Yeah. Or is it more valuable for me to continue to create the images that then someone else does this too?
That's exactly it. And that's a hard like shift to do, or it was a hard decision to take. Because obviously I saved a lot of money doing it by myself as like a one person business. But I'm so happy with it now. And honestly, it's just like better made.
Well, you like primarily print on textiles, or like, and like printing shirts is probably my least favorite thing to do in screen printing.
Mm,
They can be so frustrating. Like one color on a shirt, okay, that's okay. But the second you put a second color on there, it's like, no, I don't want to touch that anymore. I will pay somebody to print that for me.
yes, yes, exactly. It's like it's technical and yeah.
It's like a super headache. Like unless you have like the giant octopus thing that like screen prints really well on fabric, like it is just the worst to hand print text or images on fabric.
Totally. But I had this octopus thing.
Oh,
It's fun.
did you?
Yeah,
It
well,
is.
personally, but where I rented is great, but still two colors. I did it a few times and then I was like, meh, maybe I can to do that.
Oh my gosh. Can we talk a little bit about your illustrations and like the themes of your work, and also like I think something I love about, like, it's hard because I haven't posted any of the pictures of when you were here because I haven't actually processed them. Because basically it was like everything got really weird and sad. Like you guys came near the you were like some of our last people. Um,
Uh,
but when you were here, you drew, but you also made a really beautiful installation. And it was really nice to see, because you talk a lot in your work about like the softness and the tenderness of your images, and also like your relationship with nature and like bringing nature into your work, which I think you see a lot in like the illustrations where you have like the sort of foliage and like botanicals, but in the space you literally made like it was kind of like a mandala of like botanicals. Have you been doing anything like that, or have you been focusing on like the illustration?
well, first of all, my time in your space was like magical and like a deep exploration that I've never done before or after yet.
Okay.
But
Yes.
the condition of the world. But yes, that was an amazing space to dive into like so many different dimension and to explore with the environment around, which is so beautiful. Obviously, I recommend everyone to try to go for a residency at your place. And so lots of flowers, which like, of course, I'm obsessed with flowers. They just, it's just like life and beauty. It's just like simple and powerful. And so, yeah, I just like put them all around me. And I guess in a sense, I do that. Like, I just like, try to like be held in a universe of like stuff that connect me to the where I'm trying to share from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or like to feel from when I'm drawing stuff. Yeah, I'm like, this is
Yeah.
a question. I would.
No, I think I feel like they're, having lived with so many different people. Like we've had like over 400 people stay with us.
Wow.
And I think that for some people, like creating that space before they even start making is like an absolute essential to actually getting into the making. Whereas at some other people, like they don't need to modify or create an environment at all. They just like, put down a stack of papers or whatever they're working on, and they can just like have their desk and everything just like that they're working on in front of them, and they don't need anything around them. It's been really interesting watching like how different people get inspired and motivated to work. I'm like you, like I really need to feel like my surroundings are, I don't know, I guess like We talked to Andrew McLuhan, and he talked about living in the library and having sort of like a psychic sort of energy around him of like the books and the notes in the books from his dad and his grandfather. And like, I feel like I need that kind of.
The stuff around you makes it the magical space that you want
Yeah, yeah.
I just want my space to be clean. I don't like really care where I'm at. Like I just be clean. Chrissy's like, I need all the junk. I need all the things.
It's not junk.
That's funny. Yeah, well, I guess maybe some people, their space is more like within their head, and like for me it's a lot like through my eyes, like what's around. Yeah. Just need things to be pretty.
I shouldn't say that like the space that I like to have is clean, but is also filled with weird and unique items, like printing presses and tools, and those are things that inspire me to want to create.
That makes sense. I can see it, because I was like, oh, no space is like boring at Sparkbooks, you know?
No.
There's lots of, interesting.
Lots of little things.
Yeah. But cleanliness is like a plus. Because, chaos can get away.
Sometimes.
Of like.
Sometimes it's where you want to be.
So can we talk a little bit about your illustrations? And you have such good like positive queer messaging and feminist messaging in your work, and I think it's so important. And I don't want to not talk about like what the work. I can see your shirt. It's backwards because of Instagram, but
yeah, I was like, because I'm at my home now, so I have like a few of my thing, and I was like, oh, I guess that's the best way to. That's kind of one of my popular design. Heteronormativity is a cult, which sounds like everything in a sense. So for people who are like very clueless, I'm obviously not talking about heterosexuality, which is like amazing part of nature. Whatever you want to do, you know, but it's more about like the rules and our mental frame of how we see the world and what we're supposed to do, and all those things that are super like rigid and keeping us from just like exploring whatever we want to do. And it's just like
exploring and also accepting, I would say. Like I feel like it's like rigid in letting yourself feel comfortable and confident to explore, but also feeling like an outside influence telling you that feeling comfortable isn't okay. So I think it's like both of those things.
Yeah, totally. That's why, that's why the comparison to a cult. And also, I'm all the understanding like all the cult story and like it's those types of hysteria. So it's just like merging. But yes, basically everything I do is very gay. Every cat you've ever seen is absolutely gay. Just want to put it out there for people who don't realize, because you know, cats all look the same, but and yeah, I'm obsessed with flowers, with cats, with queer femmes.
Well, and all of the like little play on words that you've been doing with like candy and little sweets and treats and stuff like that. I'm loving those. Sorry, you don't have headphones, so every time we make a noise, we cut your sound out. That's why we're trying to be like extra quiet while you're talking. I don't know if it's cutting it out for other people, but it's cutting it out for us. So I'm trying to like not even move my chair so that it doesn't make a squeak.
Should I get my headphones?
Maybe it might help to make sure that we don't chop up what you're saying.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
I'm enjoying this background.
This background is just making me so happy.
I feel like it's like maybe fun for a rug, just like hung on the wall.
It's like so nice.
It's a very different texture than our
Yeah.
wall.
I wonder if Nell's on here. My friend Nell lived in Montreal, and I went to visit her when I was a very, very young teenager. She's older than me. And she had her room filled in fun fur. Like floor, walls, ceiling, every bit was fun fur. It was like a magical universe for me as a...
Wow.
I think I was like in grade 9 or 10. I can't remember.
Okay, I'm trying to...
Oh, this is better.
Yes,
Yeah.
but then how do my phone...
Oh,
Does my phone say...
Because the headphone jack's on the bottom.
I know, that was
I
a
know.
bad design.
Such a... Yeah.
A whole bunch
I
of
believe
books
in
and
you.
random things. All the knickknacks.
Yeah, I have so much... Wow, I'm so proud
Nailing
of
it.
myself. Yeah, now I have to be careful not to move too much.
Telephone goes,
I might just like fall over at some point.
It's happened before. There's been times
Okay.
where people have charged their phone on the ground and kept talking to us. And we're really quite cash about this whole experience. It's like we're just hanging out together, but, you know, some people listen in and then we post it to YouTube.
I love it.
Yeah, no, I love the cats. All the cats are gay. That's great. I have a cat on my mug right now. I don't know what his situation is, but it's
just the
his
butt.
It's his butt. It's my favorite
Yeah,
mug.
yeah. I remember this mug. Obviously, I saw everything that was cat themed in your house. Yeah,
So-
I
I feel like you also did a lot of zines, or maybe a few zines, because you were working on a zine too while you were here, right?
was working on what I wanted to be a book, but it was like the sequel of a zine.
Oh, okay. Sequel of a zine.
Yes, and I have illustrated books, but I have not made my own. So this project is still like ongoing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I need another residency to be able to dive really like in this way to do this type of projects, because like what I do is often more of like one image or like a few images, but less. I really like things that are just like pop music, you know, like, oh, here's a feeling, color, like take it with you and carry it, and then like leave it and hop onto something else. And
Right.
so a book is really more of like a deep dive, obviously. So but I'm so happy that I had this experience. It was my second residency with you, and it was like long enough to really like understand that this space and time exists. So
I think you should keep doing the book. Like it.
yeah,
The work that you were doing in comparison to say like the like candy sort of illustrations, or even the cat that we posted, was like really stripped down. Like it was like mostly just line work. I don't know if maybe color was being added later, but like really gentle and delicate and intimate feeling. So less of that kind of like pop, pa, ta, like, which I definitely feel like I just really like the candy pieces. I don't mean to keep going back to them, but they're just so good. If you haven't gone to see them, like they are so good.
oh, thank you so much.
But they're like a completely different kind of feeling. They are like playful and fun, and like you said, like you can kind of like look at them and have a chuckle and enjoy them. Whereas like the drawings that you were doing for the book, I could see wanting to sit and like invest a lot more time into exploring the story and following the characters. But
Yeah.
what was the like theme? Like what themes were you working with for that particular project?
I was working around the the really broad theme of love and something very personal, and as it like relates really to emotions and feeling, but also a bit abstract, just like, because not that many words, but just like I had like section and I had like things in mind, but letting it be up to like interpretation a bit with the illustration, and kind of bit of like a personal journey, like self-love and connection to others and to nature. I guess I'm always like in my own pool of those themes. Yeah.
I love that though. I don't know if this is like, you have a YouTube page. Is that something we can talk about or no?
Yes. Totally. Please do.
Because I've watched the videos. It's
Oh my
like
God.
a really
You get to link to them now.
it's like,
Oh my God.
well, so it's an ASMR page, which I really like. I know some people are weird about it.
Totally.
But I'm one of the people that isn't weird about it. And like I like all the like little tingly sensations that are like part of that scene. I relate to. I'm like, yes, this is 100% how my brain works. So was that something that came out of the pandemic? Because it seems okay.
I love ASMR. It makes me feel great. What I like especially is the video where people are like role playing, like putting you to bed or washing your face and just like taking care of you, like in a way that doesn't exist in the world because we don't have space, or like that, you know, like a parent would do, but like you're an adult. Yes, there's a ton of videos like that, and also like people exploring like aesthetic stuff and like little noise. Well, anyone who doesn't know what ASMR is, like, definitely check it out. Some people hate it, like you said. Yeah.
I didn't realize it was such a polarizing thing until I like...
It's a polarizing thing?
Well, like, I don't know if some people are really weirded out by it. Is like the best way. It's like, it doesn't make sense, and it seems like, I don't know, fetishy, I guess. And I think things that are like on the verge of fetish for some people it's like a little uncomfortable.
Okay.
And I guess I can kind of see where that's coming from, but it doesn't feel like that to me. But I think it's like the quietness, the whisperingness of it. I don't know, for some people it's just like it's hard for them to connect with, which makes perfect sense. But I think when something can make people feel uncomfortable, the reaction, instead of being like, oh yeah, no, it's just not really for me, is more like, I don't understand it, it's weird, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's like you're like, calm down, you don't need to be like mean about it, just like, you can not like it, that's fine. We can not like the same things, that's okay.
Yeah, it can totally be super cringy for people. I see that. Yeah. But if you just let yourself go into it, but if you enjoy it, like if you don't enjoy it, which is like, because it's supposed to like do something in your brain and make you feel like, all fuzzy and good. So if it doesn't do it, I guess it's weird. It is weird. Like considering like what's normal in our world.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think the first time I was introduced to it, we had people living here that had insomnia, which is something I've never experienced.
Oh yeah,
really.
This is how you found out about it.
And I've never known anybody that had insomnia before. So it just seems like such a maddening experience. I I really feel for people that have difficulty sleeping. There's been like very small moments in my life where like sleeping is a challenge. But there really wasn't a lot of ASMR online at this time because this was many years ago. But there was one person that was doing something. I think her name was like Gentle Whispers or something like that.
Oh, yeah, Maria.
Yeah.
Love Maria.
And so they were showing it to me because it was like one of the many things that had been suggested to them to try to help them fall asleep.
Yeah.
And so that was like my first introduction was like through a couple residents that had insomnia.
Yeah.
I was like, having someone brush your hair over YouTube is weirdly lovely.
Yeah, it helps with anxiety for a lot of people. And I use it to calm down too sometimes.
Yeah.
When I had a studio with Ambivalently Yours, which you know very well.
Yeah.
And was there at the same time as me for the residency. Sometimes we had like a tiny 1.5 apartment with pink walls, and we would just like listen to ASMR out loud in the space, just like like people would knock and we were like yes, and just be like we like our bubble like that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've never listened to it over speakers, only with headphones on.
It's better with headphones on.
Yeah.
But if you want a collective experience,
it's like a
for
sound
your
bath.
studio. Yeah.
Yeah. But you're not working in a studio right now. You're just working out of your house?
Oh no, I have a studio.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Because I have so much stuff. But like, hold on, let me show you very quickly my living room. And I just moved recently, so the walls are kind of brownish. So please don't associate me with that. It's not my choice.
You're still in Montreal?
Yeah. Look, this is I just dyed a ton of t-shirts.
You dyed them? Like hand dyed them?
Yeah.
What do you use to dye them?
Is it because there's no pink shirt the color pink you want?
Not this color. It's really like there's just a few, and also they only make like up to like 2 or 3x, and I want to have like all the like more sizes also. But no, it's really like there's just a few sizes of pink, and I dye my shirts sometimes at home. So I work at home too, but I have my studio to keep all my merch, and it's really cute space too.
Do you handle all of the like packing and shipping of everything all by yourself?
Oui.
Really? You do it all alone? Oh my gosh.
I do it on Mondays. And yeah, I kind of love packaging. I like to have like nice package and have things wrapped and like little stickers. I could like once I have a big business, I'll have someone to do it for me, I guess.
That's nuts that you. I mean, I love knowing that like everything is packaged by you, but I feel like I think that there's certain parts of like running like your own small arts business online that are like kind of that unseen side of it that just does occupy an enormous amount of time, and packing and shipping work is like, I've watched like people do time-lapse videos of it, and I was like, nobody would watch the real-time length of this, but I wish that it was there just so people could see like that the video was actually a full day.
Yeah.
Because those time lapse, it like makes it feel like, oh, look how rapidly they're just popping all that together and walking it down to the post office. And it's like, no, that's all very time consuming.
It's true. It's true. But I like it because I get to listen to podcasts. I don't have to think a lot. Uh, I love gifts in life, like giving gifts and receiving gifts. So, it's like in that spirit of like, I'm gonna send something and I hope the person is gonna be like, oh, So, yeah, it's like, I do enjoy it. It's a nice break.
For working with like the t-shirts, like how do you plan, like thinking about like, okay, all these different sizes and then like the different designs, like how do you plan for that? Like, do you say I'm only ever going to have this many in each size, and then once they're sold until I invest in more? Because it's pretty financially hefty to invest in textiles. So do you like limit yourself to a quantity, or like what's this, how do you do that?
Well, I reprint things. I go with like the money I have, and like if something is popular, yeah, I guess like when I make a big contract, I buy a bunch of shirts. Yeah, I try to.
Do you sort of just notice like which ones sell more, and then you're like, okay, medium seems to be the most popular, so I'll put more in that, and then
Oh, size wise.
yeah.
What is like since the pandemic, like the way I do things shifted so much, like
Oh.
because yeah, so like I was selling in like many stores, and lots of them like stopped ordering, but I had way more order online. So, which was so much more simple for me because I didn't have to like, so when I planned like inventory, it was like mostly just for me.
Okay.
So online, people buy all the sizes from like X, small to 5X, which is what I try to have for everything, but I don't have for everything. But so maybe like there's a curve where I know I sell a bit more of like medium, large, X large, but the people need all the sizes, I've realized. So and for stores, they mostly keep like small to 2X, but now I'm like, wow, this is boring talk, but maybe
No. I think
yeah,
like a lot of what we try to share is like what it is actually like to run something like this and to like be a practicing artist, because
nobody considers
and
that you spend every Monday packaging work and managing inventory and going to a mailbox.
Yeah,
Like
well,
that's what being an artist is like. It is the most weird, boring day-to-day stuff.
Well, you're like expending all of this like creative energy, and then like the after of that is like figuring out how to like deal with all the business end of it, and a lot of that like business end people don't really talk about or share information about. And so then when you're new or you're like a young artist getting into it, you're like, I don't know, I'm just floundering
even when you're
around.
in it.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
We're often just blindly running around going, like, we're faking it. Like
100%. Like that's what it's like.
But I love knowing that like online you're seeing like people buying in every size, and that you're thinking about how to like talk to all of those different size spaces, that you aren't like, I'm not going to make sizes bigger than blah. You're like, how can I find these? And then I'll hand dye them myself if I can't find it in the color that I want. Like, I think that's beautiful and so great.
It's fun too, because I'm making mostly t-shirts, which is the most like basic thing, but I wear them often. and I like it. And I think that people on the internet like can imagine how it will fit, so it's easier to buy on the internet. But also, I'm trying to make it like less boring and more unique. So just like when it's hand dyed, they're all like a little bit of, oh, I have a little visitor.
Oh, hello.
They're all like a bit unique, and they have little variations. Like sometimes I do like more tie-dye, but like even if I try to make them one color, they'll be like, a bit
Yeah,
a sky with little variations.
I like that too. Do you
Right.
do your drawings digitally, or do you do them in a sketchbook?
Okay, in January 2021, I bought myself an iPad, and
Nice.
it's like my favorite thing ever. My neck hurt more because like I'm drawing like more than before.
You're
Yeah,
like sitting down.
Yeah, it's really hard not to be obsessed with this. It's so cool and so fun, and like my drawings are so much better because because before, like when I was at your place or like just last year, everything in a sketch, but like once it's scanned and it's on the computer, I can't really like change the lines or like so much. So this is like infinite possibility. Here it is, my sweet baby. Love.
I also have an iPad, and I agree. It has changed my relationship to drawing. Yours is much bigger than mine.
Well,
Oh
I think
yeah, I got
the
the big
iPad's
one.
an awesome tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As an artist, like you're just a single person, like coming back to like this like idea of business. Like you're drawing them, then you have to spend all this time scanning the work, cleaning it up, separating the colors, and then sending it out.
Oh my God.
Whereas like if you just work
Exactly.
in Photoshop, you cut out 3 whole steps. And like that's like hours. It's literally hours to scan and like repurpose a photo into like something for screen print.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I've had more illustration contract this year. I'm so happy about that. And like, I don't know how I would have done it without this. So it's like the best investment, even though it's like a bit expensive.
It is a bit expensive, but I agree.
Wait.
It is a very good expensive investment.
Why?
Yeah. But it's like about learning those time-saving things. Like you only have so many hours. Your Mondays are already just about shipping stuff. So
Wait.
like the other 4 days of the week need to be effective. Because if you're spending too much time just doing nothing, you're not making money. And you're not making like any sort of product.
Well,
It's,
and I think like,
yeah.
it helps with also that like growth. I mean, like when you're constantly working, like you're saying you're drawing more, then yeah, your work is just going to get stronger and better.
Mhm.
You're devoting more time to the like development of your craft and less time to like trying to make sure the scanner's communicating with the computer.
Exactly. I
And
can't say how
troubleshooting
much
that.
I love it so much. Yeah.
So we usually do like a little bit of a show and tell at the coming to the end, to just talk about either our own works or works of other artists. So we have, how many things do we have? 2 things. 2 things. We have one thing by me and then another thing by another person.
Okay.
And whoever, you get to choose if we start the show and tell or if you start the show and tell. If you brought things or brought your own things. I don't know what you have going on over there.
Yeah, I have lots of stuff in front of me.
Okay.
Yeah. Which it's all from my house.
I love it.
Yeah. I can start.
Okay.
So you share one and then we'll share one and we'll go back
Okay.
and forth a couple of times.
I had a little setup where I put nails on the wall, but then I realized this was gonna be on the phone. So okay. So, my first thing is this.
Ooh.
It's a heart.
What is this?
It's like a little sculpture decoration. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Heart, and I actually have many because it's just so beautiful.
How are you hanging these up?
They're like this. They have a
I know,
little,
but what are you...
There's a nail.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
I had prepared my space, but now it's now yeah. Anyway, because I thought it was gonna be on my computer. Now it's on my phone, but all good.
It still looks great. Oh, so who made these? Where are these from?
Okay, it's Coral Short. They're an amazing artist who do so much, including live plant ASMR. So like performance artists. They also do these amazing art sculptures with little like love spell or healing spells in them. And I share a studio with them, but I knew them prior to that. They're just like an amazing community builder. They do queer kink parties when that was happening, like, and all over, and also like work at different places, but now are in Montreal. And yeah, just a beautiful, loving, their work really shine this beautiful energy. So I shared a studio with them, and every time I go in the studio, I take a time to go look at their space because there's like hundreds of hearts like that. All unique.
Cool.
Oh, wow. So are they hand stitched and like, oh, wow.
Well, they have a machine, but like it's, half and half because you have to like
all a little bit, add in all the little details.
They're absolutely all unique. So that's Coral Short, and they have Instagram page which is Soft Jewel Studio with little dots.
I'll get you to send.
Yeah, I'll send it.
Handle so I can share.
And then they get tagged onto the video.
Oh, that's wonderful! I love
amazing.
That.
Yeah, so I'm obsessed with that. So that was my first thing.
So our first share is another Quebec artist.
I can hold it if you want to talk.
So this is by Isabelle Demers. I'm really bad with last names. I feel like I just want to not say last names anymore because I always say them wrong. It's Demers.
Oh, Demers.
Thank you.
Isabelle Demers. Ouais.
So this is a lithograph.
Oh.
And
wow.
So lovely little print. But Isabelle does like, I don't even know how to begin to describe her work because it's just so cool. So it ranges. Some of it's two-dimensional, like this piece, but a lot of the work is three-dimensional and installation based.
Ooh.
So the two-dimensional work primarily, if I'm not mistaken, now is I think it's called pyrography, like where you are drawing with like a wood burning tool, or she draws with a wood burning tool onto paper and then hand watercolors the image and then cuts them out to build these collages, but they're kind of like paper tools, so there's dimension to the collage, like in between the different layers there's space, so they're kind of popping out. And they're mostly foliage, and some of it is real foliage, some of it I think is a bit invented. And sometimes there's figures or parts of figures in the foliage, but they have kind of this like old botanical drawing book kind of exploration element to it. So her work like deals with a lot of storytelling and narrative, and she really like loves when like the viewer can kind of imagine themselves in the environment. So the installation work is really environment based. So you kind of are immersed in these different spaces, and they often have like fake plants and real plants, and sometimes like fog machines and like sculptural pieces that are like animals that have been like little figurines of not literal animals, but like sculptural animals that have been like poured over with wax sometimes, so they look like sort of trapped in this motion. They're kind of spooky and mystical, like just so good. Like really highly recommend. Like if you can see the work in real life, great. But even if you go to her website, like just such cool work. She was one of our Emerging Artist Award winners, and I remember when I like opened up her application and saw the installations, I was just like, oh my gosh, I hope the jury picks this person, because I just want to talk to them and like see the work and how it's made. And anyway, so I just really I can't say enough good things about Isabelle's work.
Yeah, super interesting. I'm definitely gonna look it up.
Yeah, so that's our first share.
Thanks. So it's my turn again? Okay. Oh, what am I gonna pick? I think so. This is just a little image, a little tarot image. I don't know if you can see well, but it's the lovers, and it's a very gay take on it. But it was made by Kaye, Adelaide, and Kaye is super amazing. Like all the images from this tarot deck that she's constructing are from the public domain, so it's kind of a collage. But mostly, what I want to talk about is her work, because she does movies. Oh my God, what's the word for that? I'm like, there's
just say it in French.
I don't know, I guess like cinématographe. I don't know. She does great movie with her partner Mariel Sharp, who has how is it called, True Sweetheart Films. So she has her company, and they like do like lesbian horror. That's how I would describe it. And they were at Fantasia this year, and their work is so fucking great. They're gonna be like so popular. They already win like so much prizes, but like anyone who's interested in like trans, queer, femme representation and horror, and just like they're so funny too. There's also like a comedy element. So they did the last movie I saw was like Don't Text Back, who so you can look that up, and I'll give you links also that they did together. And recently they did like a lesbian erotica called Monster Dyke, and which I didn't see yet, but and Kaye, the artist who did like this tarot image, stars in it. So I haven't seen it, but I can.
Are they in Quebec as well, or are they Canadian, or cool?
Montreal. They're friends, but like they're just like amazing artists.
Cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. Sweet. That's super cool. I love horror films, so definitely check it out.
Remember we watched.
Yeah, Kyle, not into horror. I'm super into horror.
This one's straight out of my flat files. This is one of my artworks that has never been printed.
Which is a lie, because this is literally a print.
Okay.
Calling it out, right?
Okay, it's been printed, but it's never been editioned. Jeez, Chrissy, giving me no quarter. So it's this lino cut of this kind of fantasy, kind of space-looking wall where there's these two guys that are just kind of working on the wall, and they're just like repairing it and operating it. And a headline I read this week about Trump's wall, which is still not built, and has cost lots of money and is currently like damaged in many places. This print was actually made in response to like kind of Trump and his like idea of like this gigantic wall. And I brought along, this is the block. It gave me a lot of troubles printing. There was let's see. There's all of this like weird like kind of like, these are all supposed to be very crisp lines, like kind of what's happening over on this side. But the lines are a bit too shallow on the block, and so the ink, when I went to print it, was loose. I guess it's loose. So like I was getting weird scumming instead of all of these really wonderful crisp lines, which is really the reason why I've never printed it. But you can see, like,
God. Yeah.
there's supposed to be all these little tiny lines. But I thought I'd pull out something that like has never really seen the light of day. It's like one of these weird projects that like I started it and then I just never finished it. I don't know why.
Well, I can understand like that you had something in mind and it didn't like work out, so you just like put it behind, even if you obviously put like so much time and love into it.
Yeah.
But it looks great from my perspective via Instagram.
I love that your wall isn't an effective wall at all, which is kind of what I think about walls in general, is that they like give the illusion of something, but they're a waste of money.
Sometimes. Well, at least Trump's wall is.
Yeah,
so that's our second share.
I thought it was like, you know, like maybe the panel that can close and open.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like if like down here, they look like they could be on like a spindle, and so they could like be open and then closed, open and closed.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, that's my little second share. Maybe one day I'll print this.
Ooh, thanks for sharing.
Do you have another one?
Yes. I have many other ones. I'm just like, what to pick? So, yeah, this art. I have more of this artist, but in my studio, the other one I have is a little mushroom, adorable mushroom saying like, don't give up, just try again later, or something like that.
Oh, that would be good for your print pile.
Yes. And this is a print. It's like it's a machine print. I don't know how to say. It's not screen printing, but the quality is so satisfying. The colors are beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's Studio Mucci.
Oh, okay.
Which is you know them?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I'm obsessed with their work. They're from I think they're based in I actually don't know, but somewhere in the US, and it's Amina, I don't remember their last name, but you can find them at Studio Mucci, and it's like also a queer artist and just joyful,
so good,
joyful queerness, colorful,
yeah, bright, so playful.
Yeah,
I love that. We actually have 3 things today because I've been working on a mural all week, and we get to install the wood pieces of it on Tuesday. So I've been in Peterborough painting outside in this heat, which has been an absolute nightmare. God. It's been so hot.
Why? Yes.
I also realized that my like pandemic anxiety is still really, really, really bad, and I haven't been like in the public like at all, really, except for I guess when we were like putting up stuff at the gallery, but it was still in Picton and pretty limited seeing people. But being outside in a city, like in the public, people were very lovely and nobody got super close to me, but I was like not mentally prepared for like actually doing something like that.
Yeah.
But
legit.
I got it done, and So on Tuesday, Kyle and I are gonna go and install these little doodads. So basically the concrete. It's like a concrete retaining wall. Is that like what that's called?
It is a concrete retaining wall. Correct.
Like on a walking path, part of Peterborough. It's a very popular walking path, and I painted on the flat of the wall. So I'll share a little like video of that on my stories. Oh, we fell down.
It was bound to happen.
It was bound to happen.
And then we're going to mount these flowers on over top of the mural. Mm-hmm. And so these are painted on signboard with like,
yes.
So they're all cut by Kyle. So I drew little flowers and then Kyle hand cut all of these shapes.
There's like 60 of these shapes. Like I'm so tired of cutting
just that. Yeah.
They take forever because then you have to, I prime them like 3 times because like I really want to, there's a lot of places in here where water can settle because it's all outside. So they're painted to death. And then, we're going to mount them onto the wall so that they'll be like this kind of like 3-dimensional element, like little pop-outs of these different flower pieces.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I love it. You were doing one while I was there. I was very impressed.
Yeah, I was doing. I forgot about that, actually.
Which one was that? Picnic? No.
What one was that? Was that Tammy's mural, maybe?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
It was for a cute little store in Picton.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so
I love it. I love how the shapes are not the shape of the flower, but just like...
Yeah.
It's that screen printer in me.
Yeah.
Yes, totally. It's like, oh, this is the energy of the flower. You know, it's not exactly the same shape goes around.
Yeah.
Wiggles.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's our third share.
Oh, beautiful.
So I don't know if you have one more to share or...
Okay, one more. Okay, let me try to put you down. Okay. So I have this print from Zuzu New.
Oh, that's a lovely...
Yes, that's a Rizzo. And
okay.
she's in Iceland. That's actually where Wait.
Oh.
This is where I did my first residency, and in her residency in Iceland. She lived in Montreal for so long. And you can see this like universe where everything is a little something else. And
that's cool.
Yeah, that's one of her newest prints that I'm gonna probably sell through my Etsy store because she sent them all in Montreal because shipping things from Iceland is complicated.
Terrible.
Oh,
Exactly. And I also have like this drawing that's like this tattoo I did more than 10 years ago of one of her drawings.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like, you know, her work has been inspiring me for like more than the last decade. It's just so she's connected to her own wavelength in her own universe where things are magical, sometimes a little bit scary, but also like always very playful and imaginative and colorful. And yes, like there's like she produces like so much stuff. Now she's doing masters in art in Iceland, exploring like ceramics a lot, but she's done everything. And like there's like infinite, like if I would go around my house, I have like so much stuff from her. But yeah, it's just so worth it to look through their work. So that's Zuzu New.
Oh, and I love it.
Yeah, Zuzu New Everlasting on Instagram.
Sweet. And yeah, I will make sure to share everybody so that, and I keep them in our highlight reel so that people can go back and like see the artwork that's been shared. Because the artwork that's been shared is so awesome. Like I feel like Kyle and I have learned about so many new people from doing this. It's been really like super fun.
Same. When I was looking at other flat files and I was like, what am I gonna say? And then I just looked to like calm down. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, it's chill. I can just like be myself.
You
Yeah.
can just be yourself, exactly.
Yeah, but I discovered like other cool queer artists, which is always fun.
Yeah. And
Right.
some really good zines. If you look at Tana's interview and was it Mikey's interview, I think? They had some.
We've had a lot of zines. They're like, very popular item on the show.
Yeah, I feel like they had some really like great.
Tana had some really good zines.
Yeah, like queer and BIPOC artists doing some beautiful zine work, and Rukyung as well. Like just really, really, yeah. I don't know. We've got to see just so much good work and talk to a lot of really people that we just love so much.
Yeah.
I can't say how much this has brought like life to my every day doing this show.
So
thank you
nice.
for being a part of it with us.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did it, even though at first I was just like, no, I can't. Too stressed. But
I'm glad you could
turned out-
join us.
yeah,
This
it was
was a
fun.
lovely little chat.
And
Yeah, thanks so
your
much.
pink wall just felt like a little cozy cocoon, like we were in a little blanket fort together hanging out for an hour.
I have also like pink pillows and more pink things, but like my setup was like small, but you got the
Wonderful.
feeling.
Oh, yes, Golden Genders, like great shares. Thanks, Leanne. I couldn't agree more. Well, we'll let you get back to your Friday and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And thank you again for being here
Likewise.
with us. And thanks everybody for joining us.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.